So there are plenty of things that teachers are struggling with this year, teaching online in a virtual environment via Zoom or other online meeting platforms. But the one thing I've heard pretty much consistently across the board that teachers like, the one thing that teachers make use of, the one thing that they wish they had in real life is the mute all button. Oh, mercy, heavens rejoice. We have a way to finally get them to stop talking out of turn. However, there is sort of a dark underbelly to the mute all button, and we're going to talk about it today. Stick with me. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Confidential. My name is Christopher Youngren, and I'm a middle school ELA teacher in Tucson, Arizona. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome to my classroom. I'm glad to have you here. So, the mute all button, what a marvelous invention. It slices, it dices, it gets the kids to be quiet while you go on and 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 on about all the wildly important things that you have to say. Who could ask for anything more? Saints be praised, a miracle is upon us. Until it starts to work to the contrary of your success. Here's what happens. Everybody is already feeling completely separated this year. Everybody is already feeling totally distanced as it is. If you, as an educator, come in and tell them that they are only allowed to speak when spoken to like it's 1950, they are going to clam up and disengage even more than they already are. Anybody out there who knows a thing about a thing and who has lived a day in their life knows that this year is an ongoing struggle for student engagement. And if now on top of it, we tell them that they're not allowed to have a legitimate, honest, real-time conversation, but instead they have to press a button in order to speak, I promise you they're going to check out even more. Now look, yeah, I think to a degree the mute all button is useful. I even made another video about the attributes of it and how everybody should be using it. But then I thought a little bit more about it, and there's more to it, and we need to recognize that. So here's what I propose. Use the mute all button, but use it sparingly. Maybe start off the class with everybody muted so you can get through whatever daily announcements you have to make, get whatever information you need to get to them in a coherent way without any distractions, and make sure that you have everybody's full attention to start. And then loosen up a little bit. Let go of the reins and take the mute all button off. Now, I'm going to put a caveat in here and say, if somebody has an especially noisy house, and I mean these days all bets are off and sky's the limit on what kind of background noises people have at their houses. There could be kids running around, there could be vacuums, there could be parents fighting. I mean, who knows? I've heard it all, and so have you probably at this point. But for the most part, if we just let everybody talk when they want to contribute to the conversation, they're going to feel a lot more a part of the classroom community. They're going to feel a lot less pigeonholed into their little boxes and put a lot less in their place and more a part of the group. Now, yes, you still need to be in control as you would in the classroom, but to lighten up a little bit and loosen up a little bit, try it out. See how much you can get away with. I mean, all classes are going to be different, and this may not work for your class. You may have kids bouncing off the walls and swinging from the rafters. I wouldn't recommend disabling the mute all in a scenario like that. I happen to have a bunch of really, really great kids for the most part. And for the most part, they want to contribute and they want to engage and they want to have their voices heard. And that is the main point of all of this. Kids want to be recognized. Kids haven't seen other kids in so long, most of them, not much at least. They certainly haven't seen their teachers. They feel separate and they want to feel valid. Regardless of what kind kind of front they put up. They want to feel like they are a significant part of this world, especially when the world we're living in right now is such a crazy one. They want to feel like they have a place in it, and they want to feel like they have a voice. And if we keep them muted 100% of the time, they're going to feel a lot more inhibited and a lot more reticent to engage at all. So use the mute all button. Use it sparingly. Use your head. You know, if they're screaming in the background, mute that person. If there are people running around being crazy, mute that person. But give them a little bit more freedom. And I promise you, it'll pay off in spades in the end. Hey, thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your use of the mute all button and any kind of Zoom tactics that you've tried in general, and what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you. I'd really like to get an ongoing dialogue going with you and hear what's going on in your world and what's working. I hope to see you again here. Until then, take care of yourselves and take care of someone else. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.